Famous German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche identified three types of people to come. The first were the slaves, whose lives were entirely ruled by Christianity and its religious structure. This view was absolutely justified for its time, at least in Europe, as at almost any time in history one could find a religion that took advantage of its adherents, regardless of whether the religions themselves were justified. From among these slaves would come the last men, who resented their perceived bondage and changed themselves to be able to reject Christianity. This transformation succeeded in freeing them from Christianity, but to be truly free of the religion required that they reject any sort of higher moral value in their lives. Consequently, they would become nihilistic, which led to unhappy, hedonistic lifestyles. Nietzsche believed that this would be the big issue of the future, as both sides of the spectrum are unhappy. His solution was a new transcendent kind of man that would rise above the struggle altogether, the Overman. The key characteristic of the Overman was the ability to create their own higher morals rather than derive it from any sort of upbringing, religious or atheist, or from any prior social construct. Rather than piece together a coherent way of existing morally from what was already in place, the Overman could hypothetically synthesize an entirely new structure of morality at will, and through its adherents live a better life. Professor of psychology at U Toronto, Jordan Peterson, says that the Overman is not possible, as individuals are demonstrably incapable of creating their own distinct moral structure and living by it. Try it yourself. While I agree with this particular criticism of Nietzsche, it doesn't acknowledge an alternative source of the Overman. Projecting into the near future from our current technological progress, we should be able to emulate individual humans, as we have measurable responses to measurable stimuli, as well as a working understanding of the basic psychological processes that determine such responses. If you are at all interested in AI and understand a bit about it, you would also understand how hypothetically easy it would be to develop a program to learn how to be human, and with a guiding hand shape its internal processes and imbue it with whatever morality we wished upon it. This action of creating morals in our pseudo-living creation unfortunately does not make us Overman. Anyone can impose their own ideas on another, force them to act out regardless of their efficacy. The true superhuman ability lies not only in the ability of making up morals, but in the adherence to such principles as well. Instead of simply forcing our ideals on artificial humans, we could design them to be the creators of their own morals. Thus would we be granting the abilities of the Overman to AI. Nietzsche is not clear on what predicates the coming of the Overman. Is the Overman just a forecast for future Western society, or an inevitable step towards evolutionary perfection? Perhaps it is all inevitable that AIs would model themselves human and by doing so surpass us. Philosophy aside, this is what we ought to be discussing. Are we destined to be outpaced by our own creations? If you found this interesting, be sure to like and subscribe and comment down below if you want to start a discussion or start a flame war, any of that stuff.